Good morning. I have been challenged to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge by Gregory Schultz. Joke's on him. Welcome to Florida. It's 10:30 in the morning. It's already over 90 degrees, so this is going to feel fantastic. However, I do believe this is a great cause, so I will absolutely participate. Starting off by getting that ice in the bucket so that it gets nice and cold. Now I'm going to let that stew for a few minutes and get the water nice and cold, and I would like to say a few things. There's a lot of naysayers out there about this ice bucket challenge, saying that everybody's just using it as a way to be involved with something, but not really, because they don't have to donate as much if they do the ice bucket challenge. However, those who are saying that don't really understand what it's about. This whole movement has been started more for awareness than money. They have raised millions of dollars additionally due to this ice bucket challenge, but at the same time there's millions more of Americans and beyond that are aware of what ALS is and may not have been aware to begin with. So I believe it's actually been quite a bit of a success. So with that being said, with the awareness part of this whole process, I wanted to add an additional thing to my video to make it a little bit longer. I wanted to give some information about ALS to those who may watch my video and not know exactly what it is. This is a disease that is near and dear to my heart because a little over 2 years ago I lost my grandfather to ALS, and it's not fun to watch somebody go through this. And I believe that it needs to be more aware around the nation and around the world. First off, to explain what ALS is, the technical term for it is progressive neurodegenerative disease that attacks the nerves of the spine. What that means in layman terms is that you start having muscle stiffness, and you might just think it's just a rough day, and progressively over a relatively longer period of time, you start noticing more and more as it works its way through the spinal nerves and starts basically destroying the nerves in your system. So it doesn't affect your brain. Your brain is 100% there all the way through to the end. However, your body begins to slowly deteriorate and go away. It starts off with the muscle weakness and stiffness and works its way through to muscle paralysis, and then eventually, because it's 100% fatal, it typically ends with the death of the person diagnosed or not diagnosed, and that is usually through a miserable way of organ failure, in the sense of your diaphragm. You could lose control of your diaphragm, which basically means you can't breathe and you're on a respirator, and you more or less eventually suffocate to death. Remind you this whole time your brain's perfectly fine. Unlike other nervous disorders like Alzheimer's, where you're in and out of it, this, you are 100% knowledgeable and aware of everything that is going on around you. Due to current or treatments or lack thereof, the average lifespan is, after diagnosis, is 1 to 5 years. However, there's varying levels of the disease and varying types of the disease. Some people can live much, much longer. Some people can live much, much shorter. There's famous individuals like Stephen Hawking. Everybody knows him for being in his wheelchair, and he's lived decades like that. He has a form of ALS that is a little easier to live through longer. But then there's individuals like my grandfather, who was diagnosed very towards the end, but only really showed the symptoms for a couple years. It's really hard to narrow it down. But here's some numbers that'll make you think. If you're more of a numbers guy like me, these might make it a little more closer to home. 100% fatal because it's non-curable. 100% it's pretty scary. 2 in 100,000 Americans will be diagnosed with ALS. That doesn't really sound like a lot, but if you really think about it, the numbers are huge. At any given time, 30,000 Americans are diagnosed with ALS and live through ALS. And that's 20% more common in men than it is in women. And another study that was near and dear to my heart is that a study shows that military members in the who have served in the last century are 60% greater chance of contracting ALS. Now, a lot of people believe that it's a hereditary disease. In reality, only 10% of diagnosed cases show it in history. But granted, that could be due to lack of diagnostic abilities in the history and everything like that. So that's just a few numbers out there, but there's a whole lot more information and a whole lot more things out there to look into and find. One thing that is troubling is I've seen, I personally have watched a couple other members outside of my immediate family who have gone through this, and I've seen what it happens to the family members around them, the healthy family members around them, and that is another thing that people don't like to talk about, because it's uncomfortable that they have to watch their loved one deteriorate like this. So this cause is going on, this Ice Bucket Challenge is going on to raise awareness so that we can find out why this is happening and hopefully stop it from happening and stop this disease and end it now. So with that being said, I have an additional challenge to you. I don't think I have my list. Hold on a second. Sorry. My additional challenge to those who I'm about to challenge are, don't just take the Ice Bucket Challenge. Don't just make the video creatively or fun. Spread the word. I've chosen people who probably haven't heard from me in years. I've chosen people all around the nation, and even a couple people that are not even in America, because I believe that we need to spread the word and get the awareness out there. So I challenge those who I'm about to list to not only make the video, but include in their video at least one fact that you've not seen on my video. You can look it up. There's a couple really good resources out there. One of them is the ALS Association, which I have been an active member in for a few years. They have chapters in every state. Some states have multiple chapters, and they run all the walks and the runs and the bike rides that you see out here. They do really great things to help people who have been diagnosed and the families of those who have been diagnosed by providing them with wheelchairs and rides down, anything from your local chapter picking up a kid and taking them to school because their parent can't do it anymore, or to lending them a few $1,000 electrical wheelchair because they can't even take care of them, get themselves around very well anymore. But they have a lot of really good information on their website at www.alsa.org. Another one out there is the ALS Therapy Development Institute at www.als.net. They're big on providing money for research and treatment into figuring out what has caused this horrible disease and how to finally get rid of it. Now, those websites, or just go onto Google and type in ALS and find out who you can find out information on who's been diagnosed, treatments available out there, or lack thereof, and maybe some more numbers out there. And even though I'm doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, I'm going to donate, and I'm starting at $25 to the ALS Association. However, I need your help to make that number higher. So those who I am challenging, for everyone that I'm challenging here that adds a fact to their video and tags me in it, I will add an additional $5 to my donation. For anyone who I did not challenge, if you leave a message below and you add in a comment of a fact or a story that somebody you may have known, I will add an additional $1 to every one of my donation. I wish I could do more, but this is what I can do, and hopefully that will carry on, and then we can get even more awareness and money for this disease. I've also included a new hashtag that I don't think is out there, and you can see it above. It's a hashtag dump the ice, drop some knowledge, and I will use that to keep track and see if we can get this thing to go a little further. So finally, I would like to challenge Julius Castillo, Eric Farrar, my cousin Kai Billings, old friend of mine Colleen Payne, Jeremy LaPayne, David Leon, all the way over there in Guam, Diana Gomez, all the way over in Portugal, Megan Glover, whom I haven't talked to in years, Anna Savitsky, Kat Hermanson, Sydney Colby, and Shelley Lynn. I'm challenging you to drop the ice and drop the knowledge. Please carry it on. Thank you.